that the media might have.
I'm just curious, I'm Michelle from KTV in Omaha, nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hi, so do you think people will be voting for you or voting against Fortenberry and what happened with his conviction and resignation?
I hope that they're voting for me. I think I've had enough of a track record in the legislature to let people know that I am a strong fighter for substantive issues, and that, you know, I think we need to move on and recognize the district has changed and I'm the choice.
Senator, if elected, you would have about 5 months in Congress before whatever candidate is elected in November would fill in. Just what do you think you could accomplish in 5 months? What would be your mindset going in and knowing that you know, you'd be kind of coming in the midst of everything already going on?
Yes, well, my goal is to get to know as many people as possible, let people know what I have done in the legislature, how I can work across the aisle, how I can bring people together and find consensus. And I don't know, somebody joked that my first act in Congress will be to have a group hug. So I
can see that.
We kind of saw the numbers starting to switch during the last election of this district turning Democrat. How do you want to play off of that and keep those numbers going? I mean, because there was a time where Fortenberry was a little worried at that point with the district, you know, some of the votes going that way. So how do you, whoever wants to answer, you know, how do you see it moving?
Yeah, you know, with redistricting, this district did become more Democratic. Still an uphill battle. We all acknowledge the challenge that's ahead of us. The good thing is we have a nominee that's ready to take on that challenge. The strategy, of course, that the Democratic Party will take is turning out our base, really leaning in on vote by mail and registering more young people and communities of color in particular to turn out for the special election, educating them that their voice can really make a difference. Senator Pansy Brooks' campaign, of course, is going to be reaching out to all voters, Republicans, Democrats, and independents who will make up a winning coalition. And I spend a lot of time traveling the state, both with my hat as chair and my hat running Bold, Nebraska. And a lot of the rural farmers and ranchers, in particular in the Norfolk area, were very disappointed that both Fortenberry and Flood didn't stand with them for their property rights when it came to the Keystone XL pipeline, or now these risky pipelines, the carbon pipelines that are potentially crossing the Norfolk area. And Flood's gonna have to answer for that, and any Republican nominee is gonna have to answer for that, for a party that says they stand up for property rights, a fundamental American value. The Republican Party has turned their backs on Nebraskans' property rights. And Senator Pansy Brooks firmly stands for farmers and ranchers' property rights and knows that they are a backbone to our economy here in Nebraska.
Senator, what would you say to some of those Republican voters who might be on the fence but are willing to look at you?
Well, first off, I would probably, to many people's surprise, mention that I used to be a Republican. I was co-chair of the Lincoln-Lancaster County Republican Party at one point, actually elected while I was on the Planned Parenthood board, and while I was I was chair of the Lincoln-Lancaster Commission on the Status of Women, a mayoral appointment. So I grew up Republican. I know and love Republicans, many, and so I hope they will listen. I hope they'll take an extra look, and I think I'm going to convince a lot of them. I really do.
Senator, quick question. You know, people are saying, and you kind of can see it, the country is more divided than ever. How do you plan on, you know, reaching across the aisle and bringing some of those people that may have reservations about working with a Democrat to get things done in the country moving forward?
I have faith in our democracy. That's the only thing I can say. This journey opened up for me, and I felt a responsibility to move forward and serve the country. I really feel, you know, my dad served in World War II and was wounded, and it was pretty much just ingrained in me that we have to support our country, we have to support our democracy, our Constitution, and my hope is that there are 50 people like me across this nation that are in a similar circumstance, that feel a need to serve the country and feel a need to bring this country back together, able to communicate and work together and find consensus. And I think it's not only possible, I think it's probable that could happen. And I'm moving forward. I don't know, this path opened, I didn't expect it, I didn't plan on it in September when we redistricted, and I just thought at that point, I've got to do something to help. And if I do nothing, then I might as well give up on the country.
What kind of an opportunity is this for you to potentially get to Congress sooner in this route that no one expected?
I think it will be a lot more work, but I also think that it's an opportunity to get to meet national people and to start spreading the word about Nebraska sooner and to let people know what our needs are to be able to fight for Nebraska. And I'm excited about it. I think it's a great opportunity to really start changing what's been happening. There are a number of us who have felt we've been unheard for decades and maybe even generations. And so I think it's time that we move forward and we flip the seat. If you go over and look at all the pictures outside, those are put up by the Cornhusker. And you'll walk down it and notice in all these black and white pictures that there's something missing. And that something is a woman, and it's time to make the change.
Say for whatever reason the May 10 primary doesn't go your way, does that change anything for you?
That the May primary,
Yeah. For this, for this special election, does that change anything if the May primary doesn't go your way?
I fully plan that it will go my way, so I can't even envision what you're talking about. But if I don't get as many votes as I'd hoped, no matter what, I am all in on this. I'm excited about it. It's a great opportunity. You all wouldn't be here today if this weren't going on. So it's an opportunity to let Nebraskans know about me, know that I'm a thoughtful, reasonable, hardworking state senator right now, and I will be that as CD1's first Congresswoman.
And,
So,
sorry, question for Jane, I think.
Sure.
So, the timing of this special election obviously is a little complicated. And when you said it was a quick decision on the part of the party, beyond just the obvious support and faith in the senator, what other factors were considered when thinking about who to nominate and what kind of candidate to nominate for this?
Yeah, our party really looked at several different things. One, fundraising matters, and having the ability to fundraise is a critical component. The party does its part, but the candidate has a significant portion on their shoulders that they have to raise. And I know Senator Pansy Brooks' numbers will be coming out soon, and I'm pretty confident that they're going to be record-breaking for a Democrat in CD1, so we feel good about that. So look forward to the news reporting on those numbers when they come. Second was legislative experience. For us, the last time Nebraska was really on the map and got a significant portion of funding back to our state was when Representative Brad Ashford was in office for the even short window that he was, and we got significant money for Offutt Air Force Base. I'm confident that Senator Pansy Brooks will do the same exact thing when she's in Congress. She will bring the concerns and the interests and the ability for us here in Nebraska to grow jobs. I know that Senator Pansy Brooks will join folks like Representative Ro Khanna, who looks at the Midwest and rural communities as job incubators, as places that we can grow jobs with data centers and other tech jobs. The members of Congress right now from Nebraska are essentially placeholders. They are sitting on the bench. They feel like their seats are safe, and that because we're a majority Republican state, that they can do nothing. And I think this special election is going to prove that Nebraskans want somebody who cares and want somebody who's actually going to bring resources back to our state to bring jobs and make sure that young people aren't leaving anymore.
We haven't had a special election like this maybe ever. What do you think this is going to look like as far as voter turnout? How are you going to make sure people come and cast a vote 3 times in just a short period of time?
Well, one, I think we're excited about it because there's a tremendous amount of momentum that's going to happen. So you're going to have voters go to the polls in May and then quickly turn around and show their strength and numbers again in June, and then go to the home stretch in November. So for us, sometimes campaigns go primary and then there's a big lull with summer. We have the primary and then we're back up again, and so we're excited. We couldn't have asked for a better situation, quite frankly. Well, a congressman maybe that wasn't indicted, but
Well, the campaign is also very excited about it, and I agree that we have to look at it as a great opportunity to reach out to voters, and that's what I think about it. It's going to be wonderful. I have more of an opportunity. We have to get out the vote. There's no question in a special election, and sometimes it's confusing to people. It's going to be confusing to people that that Jeff Fortenberry's name will be on the ballot. That's gonna be confusing to people. So, you know, we just have to get the information out, and our campaign will do as well as we can. I know the Democratic Party will be informing people as well, and I'm just excited. This is a rare opportunity, and I'm just thrilled to be the one to be able to be in this spot at this time.
How do you heal and move on from this scar, I guess, that's happening, that some people might call, you know, from what's happened?
I don't know, you know, in the legislature, there's all this, everybody makes it as if we're all just terrible enemies of one another. And we vote together like 85 or 87% of the time. Nobody even realizes that, because the interesting thing is for news media, of course, to talk about the times where we do not agree. And so I think most people are blown away when they hear that statistic. So we are not each other's enemies. And in fact, I learned it best of all my first year when we were in the legislature and I was promoting an LGBTQ plus bill, and the next thing that happened was a bill on the death penalty. And we had to gear up and change how we felt, because we were working with new colleagues and different colleagues to be able to gather people together. You can't stay mad long in this business. You really can't. If you do, I don't think you're cut out for it.
Well, what do you have to say about what happened with Fortenberry, his conviction and resignation?
I'm sorry it happened. I'm sorry for the people of Nebraska, and you know, it's not good for Nebraska or for CD1. It's sort of embarrassing because we've elected this person that was indicted, but again, I don't wish anyone, I don't wish harm to anyone, and I don't wish people to have to endure the repercussions that he will have to endure, and I wish his family really well. And,